Hey everyone! Welcome to That Pedal Show. Viewers, comments and questions. Dan here.
Mick here. Hello and welcome. I've just spilt tea all down my t-shirt.
You would never have known if you hadn't said that.
So I'm just going to go and change my t-shirt because the door closed on me and I spilt my tea down myself.
Lactating.
I know. Well, there is that. Every time I hear a baby cry down here.
Hope you're all doing awesome while Mick changes his t-shirt. Thank you all for joining us today. We've had an amazing day. We've got arrived here early, got a couple of shows in the can, and also I'm doing a vlog. I'm tidying up the captain's pedal board. Maybe some of you will know that I did a board for Lee, and just doing a tidy up, and I'm doing a little vlog of it because it's very interesting. Making a pedal board that's groovy and yet flexible. Yeah, so that'd be cool. Let's see who we have on with us today. You didn't burn yourself when you spilled tea on yourself, did you?
No. Can I do my moan about tidy pedal boards underneath?
Please do your moan.
They're very hard to fix problems on.
Very hard to
when
fix
everything's
problems
all.
Yep.
Have you discussed those eventualities?
Completely.
Good.
Completely.
Good. I mean, it does look nice when they're all perfect and everything, but it's like, God, something goes down and then you have to unclip it all, and
it's impossible.
Yeah.
But the other thing is,
that's why mine looks like a rat's nest.
the other thing that's really important to say is oftentimes when it's done like that to the millimeter, it only has to be a millimeter too short and puts a lot of tension on, and that is what causes problems.
Ah, there we are. Okay, so we say thank you to BV for moderating. Thank you so much, BV, and for everything you do for That Pedal Show. We massively appreciate it. Simon V is on. Hey, how are you, Simon? And Johnny T is on. Always great to hear from you, Johnny. Morley Robertson, Todd Roy, Ragged Glory Sound is on.
Patrick McKay is on. Jeff Stevens, Edna Plate, Thomas Goelbeck, the Roger Wilco. Very nice.
Chris Liddell, Broken Horse Podcast, Andrew R. Mostly Low, Jean Mirapica is on. Martin Tracy,
T Hawkeyes, Jeremy Spuds, Plexico, g'day mate, Miles Jury, Michael Walling,
Dennis Schmidtke, and Turd Ferguson. LA Cornish, lots of lovely friends. Mellow Fellow 7 is on. Vibas Patil, great to hear from you, Vibas. I'm going to shut the super... Dan is having some chest issues.
I may pop in and out. You may hear sounds that may alarm you.
So he does...
like this.
Do the... Yeah, there's a bit of Bob Fleming going on.
Well, no, it's actually good. That's all cleared up. It's just the dryness now.
Right.
But yeah, it's been a festival of joy.
Super chats are now, well, they will be in a moment off. Just to make sure we get through them all.
Everyone wants to know how your gig was.
It was great, thank you. We had a lovely old time. Some TPSs came. Hello to the TPSs that came. Dom, and I want to say Kai. What?
Don with an N, not a Don.
Don, I said Don.
You said Don.
Oh, well, I meant Don because I know it's Don.
I'll get my coat.
So maybe I got that wrong. Anyway, yeah, it was good. It was very good, thank you. It was, in the end, it was less about the music and more just about the coming together of lots of old friends after many, many years. And there was a lot of love in the room. It was
a lot of music too.
Entirely ARC.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant.
It was analog, it was real, and it was communal. And that was the best bit about it. So Catherine is saying it was also a little bit on the loud side.
Very loud.
Yeah, it was epic. I have done, indulgently, we filmed today, went through the rig that I used for the gig and all the pedals and everything, just as a sort of Dan and I tend to do a show each year on our sort of personal rigs. This is the most over the top rig I've ever had. I'll probably never use it again, but it was a special occasion, so out it came.
Yeah, I may top only because I might be doing proper wet dry wet shenanigans. But the tones we had in the studio today with Mixed Rig are some of the best sounds we've ever had in TPS. It's definitely one to watch out for, because it was just, what was beautiful is Mick has been working on this rig for a while, went and did the gig, dialed it all in, and has kept it exactly like that, and then brought it in here, and it was just magic.
It came in here with the exact same set, except for one really annoying thing, that the preamp was in a more gainy mode when we did the video today, and I couldn't quite work out why. It was just a bit more. Anyway, doesn't matter. This is what we do, isn't it? Anyway, blah blah blah. And just to finally say, one thing that we do discuss is that difference between dialing in sounds when you're at home or getting prepared and when you're actually out in harness, so to speak, and it's quite different. And I took a couple of risks, and they paid off.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, right. More importantly, Gordon is saying, he says the Gordon Rankin. How are you, Gordon? He can see the Roswell cab mic there. They are super. I need to get TPS another one. We're going to buy another one, Gordon. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, thank you
for sending this one to us.
It's amazing.
Roswell cab mic, for those of you that don't know. If you watched the show on Friday, you know we had some issues potentially with the microphone. So I've been swapping microphones out, putting multiple microphones on everything so that we can have a good listen. We've got a major production overhaul coming in the next couple of weeks. And I'm quite excited to just debug everything, because things are starting to break left, right and centre. Mm-hmm. Pedal cam broke down today.
Yeah.
So we're just we're leaning it on a bit heavy. It's all been cooking for 5 years, and it's all going. We're tired.
Yes, time for some move around.
We're tired.
Guy.
Anyway, right. So we've got 31 super chats to get through. BV is reminding me. Let us hurry the heck along.
Let's do it.
Okay. Oh, bless her. Rosie's feeling a bit out of sorts for some reason. Not entirely sure why. Andrew R is first in this week. Hi, Andrew. He says, hello, D&M. First in, is Catherine tired of packaging merch yet?
She does it with such love and care. And what is really cool is everyone comes to Experience Day says, I've got to say, it's the best packaged thing I've ever got in my life. And it's wonderful, because Catherine put so much love and care into it. And it's really important to us that everyone gets to experience how much we care about this stuff. And Catherine's does, if it wasn't for Catherine, Mick and I would just be in the room going, hey, look at this. Yeah. What do you reckon about this delay? And Catherine has organised everything around so we can live.
3 50-grand cameras and no viewers.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Andrew's real question is, if you needed a new guitar for a Stratocaster sound, but it couldn't be a Fender or a Squier, would you get an S-shaped object or something else entirely?
Well, if it wants to be a Stratocaster type sound, it needs to be an S-shaped object. You're not going to get it anywhere else.
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, I would do that. What would I look at? I like the look of... There's quite a few companies that do very nice vintage style Strat-shaped things, like Don Grosh, like... What's that thing that Jeff McErlin plays? That was really nice. The exotics look fantastic.
Oh, yeah. McMull?
Yeah, McMull, definitely.
I've been warming to the Tyler thing.
Yeah, I love all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would personally avoid anything that doesn't have a nitro finish, just because I just love the way the nitro looks. So that means most of the Sirs and the Andersons are out.
Yep, and also make sure it has a single coil in the bridge. If you want a Strat sound, you can't get it with a humbucker in the bridge.
Don't be knocking about with those humbuggies.
No.
So yeah, there's loads of great S-shaped objects out there. I used to be really militant about it, and for my own guitar choices I still am, but it's like, it doesn't matter. Just play the guitar that feels right in your hands, and that's the guitar you should play, regardless.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I think I used to get all uppity about trademarks and trying to protect Fender, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they've given up caring about rock and roll a long time ago. So
Nicholas Recker says the Nash Strats, they are fabulous.
they're not Strats. They're S-shaped
sorry,
objects.
Nash.
That is
S-shaped object.
in the reference of trademarks. I still am a bit itchy, but because it is a registered trademark of the Fender Musical Instruments Corporation. So we'll call it an S-shaped object. Yeah. But yes, Nash, fantastic.
Nash, very, very good.
Really lovely. Yep.
Beautiful.
Plexico, Duncan, how are you?
Hello, buddy.
He says, hi, DNM, I hope you're fab. Do you prefer wet dry or wet dry wet? For the wet dry wet setup, what would the for the wet dry wet setup, would the amps be identical for the wets?
Ideally, yeah. I am looking at doing a thing with the new Victory MKX and doing a proper wet dry wet with that, which I'm experimenting with at the moment. I'm really digging it. So it may require a stereo power amp. It may not, depending on the other returns, what they're going into. But yeah. Anyway, ideally yes, because you want that. It's a proper stereo image, right, with the wets, and you want those to be pretty bang on.
I massively prefer wet dry over wet dry wet. Just because it's a more direct sound and it's the kind of sound that I use in the music I play.
Yeah.
Dan's veering towards wet dry wet. He's thinking of trying it. One of the best wet dry wet sounds we ever had in here was the TS1 in the middle.
Oh,
that amp on the left there when it was in a combo box, feeding the Boogie stereo power amp and the two Zilla 112s. That was one of the best wet dry wet sounds we've ever had.
Amazing. Which is why I'm thinking of actually trying to do it. I know it's really overkill, but hey, welcome to that pedal show.
Welcome to that pedal show. Kevin Vandenberg is saying Ha and Kaufman.
Oh, the Ha guitars.
And the Kaufmans.
Yeah, right.
Exceptional S and T-shaped objects.
We had a Ha T-shaped and it was just unreal.
Yeah. Michael Schneider. Hello, Michael. Michael Schneider says, cheers, D&M. Wondering what you like best as a mid-priced alternative to an ES335 Gibson. I'm considering a used Heritage, but what do you think of Ibanez, Eastman, or just an Epiphone IGC? I don't know what IGC means.
Are you talking about the Ibanez Artist? So that's so funny because I was just talking to Mick today about this thing, about doing a 335 show, because it is arguably the best guitar made ever and still.
335.
Yeah,
it's the most. It was the guitar that, by all accounts, Ted McCarthy was most proud of.
Yeah, so I think that would be a really good show because a lot of players that we know also really love them. But I was thinking, okay, if you really like that 335 thing, but you want either something different or something a bit cheaper, the Eastman's are great. I think the Ibanez Artist is great.
Me too.
And you can look at other things in that style. You basically were talking about a semi-hollow, right? You're talking about being solid in the center block, and some air.
Yeah, I mean, if you want it to be very 335-like, then Epiphone's a good shout. But look towards the top of the Epiphone family tree, as it were. That Flying V that I've got is a fantastic guitar. It is a really, really brilliant guitar. And that's the Inspired by Custom Shop, which might be what IGC means.
Right.
I don't know. But yeah, Ibanez and Eastman, except you mentioned Heritage. Loads of people say great things about Heritage guitars. Although I thought they weren't that different prices from Gibson. Got to be careful what I say here. I'd almost buy a standard Heritage over a standard Gibson.
Really?
But I would always buy a Gibson Custom Shop.
Yeah. Agreed.
When
Yamaha did their SG, did they ever do a semi-hollow version?
Yeah, they did. I think it was called the SA.
Okay, because that's something else I'll try and get my hands on.
I want to say the Yamaha was an SA 2200.
Oh, Mikil has just said Yamaha SA series. Yeah,
there you go.
Brilliant.
I can't remember what day it is or why the damn pedalboard camera doesn't work, but I can remember obscure guitars from 25 years ago.
Fantastic. If so, any other any things that are in the vein of a 335?
The other, if you want to step to sort of that kind of construction, but slightly different, check out the Gretsch centre blocks. Because Gretsch did a whole bunch of standard 6120 and those kinds of guitars, Falcons, double Falcons, all that are hollow. But 10 or so years ago, maybe more, they started to do slimmer guitars again with an actual centre block. So there's a whole range of Gretsch centre block guitars that are very well priced as well. And I have a look at those as a cool thing.
Awesome. Okay, dig it.
Yep. Michael Giliberto, how are you, Michael? He says, I'm thinking about PAF style pickups for an old Les Paul Studio that plays great but needs some love. No, that's the wrong question. We'll get to you in a minute, Joshua Schwartz. I apologise. Michael says, hi DNM, thanks for this Friday's instalment of the wet, dry, moist, maybe stereo journey. Question for you both. What are your current 2 or 3 favourite boost, overdrive and fuzz pedals? Much love from coastal Connecticut.
That's a big question. Boost, overdrives and fuzz. My favourite fuzz is the DSOTM, Dark Side of the Moon fuzz, by an Australian company called... sorry? DevTech Audio. It's the fuzz that I've been looking for. It's wonderful. Boost. My old Java treble boost is absolutely glorious. And overdrive, I've got to go with my Kingsley Harlot. I'll put that back on the board, and it is just spectacular.
Spectacular. My favourite fuzzes at the moment, and this is only valid for today, is the Reeves Black Hat Sound Alpha Fuzz.
Nice. That's wicked.
There are many reasons I like it. One is it has a large single knob, and it takes up a goodly amount of pedalboard space, and it just sounds mega. So I love that. Maybe pipping that to the post for a bit of versatility is the Cunningham Amps Mark 1.6.
So good. So good.
And that is silicon, and that is, germanium.
Oh.
It is germanium. Cunningham Amps in New Zealand, that is blinking tacular as a really lovely bridge between the Fuzzy Face and the Tony Bender.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so those are my 2 favourite fuzzes. My favourite boost, Argo Boost Deluxe aside, to take out the bias from it, would be the Thorpe Heavy Water, which is actually on my pedal board and actually is being used and was used on Saturday night. And my favourite current overdrive, well, the 2 that are currently on my pedal board are the Jam Tube Dreamer, which is their version of a Tube Screamer, and the Kingsley Page straight boost.
Yeah, beautiful.
As an overdrive, that's what I've been using. But in my heart, it's the BK Butler Tube Driver, but
it comes with
and goes.
Yes,
it comes and goes. So there you go. That's what it is.
Very good.
Joshua Schwartz, here you are, Joshua. He said, I'm thinking about PAF style pickups for an old Les Paul Studio that plays great but needs some love. Any thoughts on low wind or underwound paths? I'm going for a more vintagey sound and we'll add 50s wiring.
Yeah, I was never a fan of the pickups in the studio. They were a bit hot. I'm not quite sure because they're not semi-hollow, but they have the chambered, aren't they? The old studio Les Pauls.
Standard Les Paul Studio, no. They can be weight relieved.
Yeah, that's
not chambered.
No, well, sorry, weight relieved.
And some are and some aren't. And
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, there are so many great pickup makers. I am getting a guitar built at the moment, and I'm getting some throwbacks put in there, which is a pickup set that haunt me from last time we had Zach in from Mythos, and the sound of that guitar. So anyway, Throwbacks make amazing pickups. Of course, we have Monty's OX4s from. Are they called OX4s? Yeah, that's the pickups. That's the maker as well.
Yeah, I don't know. You've got them in your Les Paul.
Yeah. There's so many great pickup manufacturers, and also Seymour Duncan, and there's like those guys.
We forget them with all the posh stuff.
Yeah.
Out there. Remember when Seymour Duncan was really posh?
Yeah. He was the posh.
And if you had Seymour Duncan pickups, you were arriving in style.
Yeah.
But of course now, with all the boutique pickup manufacturers, the likes of DiMarzio and Seymour Duncan are
there is a
bit
combination.
like Boss, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And then when you plug a Boss pedal back in, you go, oh, hang on, it's really good.
Yeah.
There's a combination, a Seymour Duncan combination, which is, let me get this right. It's the JB in the bridge and the 59 in the neck. That combination, I've heard it in a few guitars, always sounds unbelievable.
It's good.
Really, really good.
I've got Lola Imperial low winds
Imperials
in my 335 Joshua, and I really like them.
I've been watching his videos of him repairing old pickups. He's fabulous.
Yeah, and you're in the States, so it would make sense to buy something American. Zach Broyles at High Voltage Guitars and of Mythos pedals, he's all about throwback at the moment. And I have to say, every time I've heard a set of throwback pickups, I like them.
Dude, I'm all over him.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. Hopefully that will give you some food for thought. Simon V. Hey, Simon. He says, Mick, sorry I didn't turn up to the gig last Saturday. Wanted to enjoy the band, but wasn't safe for me to drive due to my illness. Dude, no sweat. And we hope you're doing okay.
Yeah, mate. Hope you're great.
Yeah. Hope you're doing okay. And Simon says, in other news, I saw Eric Bibb a week or so ago and had a nice chat with Robbie McIntosh, who was lead guitar at the gig. Have you chaps bumped into any fabulous folks in the last week or so? Lots, actually.
Yeah.
Starting with Joey and Dave Landreth, who turned up here to get themselves together before they went off on their tour.
Mm-hmm.
And also that day we had Matt Johnson, who's the keyboard player from Jamiroquai, who is making a video about a product that is yet to be announced. And we had great fun listening to him play awesome electric piano.
Yeah.
Bit different for that pedal show, but
it was amazing.
Really wonderful.
Hearing like pedals with that. It wasn't the clav, was it? It was what they call the
like a Rhodes.
Like a Rhodes. Oh man, what a sound!
Beautiful sound. I expect Dan's bumped into some people this week.
Who have I bumped into this week? I've been talking to our friend Mr. Robin Ford, and yeah, just the people that we meet when you're walking down the street. They're the people that you meet each day. Yeah.
I also saw a lovely old friend called Marco Rossi, who was the catalyst to me going,
he was at the gig.
Loud electric guitar is the thing for me.
Amazing.
Yeah, bless him. It was really good to see him. Really, really good to see him.
Wow.
He was the guy that made me buy a Mark III Boogie, really.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was lovely to see you, Marco. I don't suppose you'll watch this, but it was.
My brother-in-law went to Vegas and watched the last Eagles show at the Sphere.
Oh, right. What, recently?
Just last night or the night before.
Is Vince Gill still in the Eagles?
Vince Gill was singing. Yeah. Far out, man. He sounds unbelievable. It's so good. Yeah.
Amazeballs. And I'm sure there are other people, so sorry to anyone we've forgotten. Ragged Glory Sound. Thank you for my country heart. I've stopped orchestra touring to go for it with pedal and amp building and repair. Hence the new name. Oh, amazing.
Oh, wow.
First day in the workshop today. What's the best way to get you stuff other than ambushing Dan at the Bath Forum? What are you going to the Bath Forum for?
Oh, no, because I went there and when he was looking after a big orchestra there. I said, by the way, and that pedal made its way onto my EP, and it's just got this really wicked it's not a fuzzy octave, but there's this green ringer boosty thing about it. Such a cool sound. Yeah, really, really great. Good luck with that, mate.
Send us an email. There's a link on the pedal show, thepedalshow.com. I think Catherine will get that and she'll forward it to me. So that's the way to do that.
Yeah.
And good luck. We wish you good luck. We will, of course, feature something. Simon V. Oh, no, we had Simon V. Johnny T. He said, sorry, I fell asleep watching Friday's TPS. I think I fell asleep making it, mate. He says, epic, though. Epic. Yeah, apart from anyway. It was such a good idea for a show because there's so many of you out there that use your gain in your amp and the effects loop. But we've got to say that once again, effects loops trip us up.
Yep.
All the time.
Yep.
However good that effects loop in that amp is. Because I think the vibrato is overdriving a bit as well.
Oh, okay.
Which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Because it's an analog device,
yep.
BBD off a loop.
Yep.
So anyway, blah blah blah. It was good. We enjoyed doing it, and in the room, Johnny, it did sound epic. So, Morley Robertson.
Hello, mate.
Morley says, excellent show on Friday, guys. Just picked up a Les Paul Junior shaped object. Any suggestions for a replacement P90? And you are in Canada.
Swing batter. I mean, there are lots of good P90s around.
I just don't know enough about P90s, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I would always, like, if I don't know, stateside, it's Lola for me.
Yeah.
But this side of the pond, it's probably Monty's now.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
That's not no shade on anyone else. There's, as Dan said earlier, there are so many great pickup makers out there.
Yeah. There's an Australian pickup guy. Kinman Pickups, and they are fabulous. And also he does a stacked hum cancelling P90, which is the best hum cancelling P90 I've ever heard.
Is that like the best shit on toast you've ever had? Is that what that means?
No. When was doing some work for man, my brain today.
Devon Townsend.
No, the Hat.
Leslie West.
No,
Slash.
We went. And he sang me happy birthday, and we went and filmed with him on my birthday many years ago. And Jack was playing in his band.
Greg Cobb.
River. No.
Terry Reid.
No.
Joni Mitchell.
Come on, brain.
Jackson Brown.
No. Lovely British guy,
Bryan
great guitar
Adams.
player. He was singing a Ray Charles song when we went down to film with him.
James Bay. I'm just messing with him.
That wasn't painful. So when I was doing some work for him, and he's got that P90 in his guitar, and he's having an absolute nightmare with noise, and ended up getting a Kimman in there, and sounded great, and just solved so many issues. So, yeah, they're really good, but there's loads of really good P90s out there. I've been spoilt with my Junior, because it's just that P90 in it is just to die for. And it's just an very old Gibson.
Yeah. There you go. There's a lot of people coming in with P90 suggestions in the chat. So lots of people saying Lindy Fralin. And Lindy Fralin is another brand that I just forget and are, without question, some of the best pickups I've ever played. So, yeah, there you go. There we are.
James Bless says, I bet it's always warm in Dan's brain.
Boiling. Hence all the molecules going about all over the place. Neurons, should I say. Eckhart says there are as many neurons in your brain as there are stars in the universe.
Yeah.
I don't know how he knows that. I think it's a guess. if I'm honest. I wonder what the rounding number is. Hello, TPS Towers. AJ here, says Broken Oars Podcast. It's Romeo and Juliet and Hoof Anatomy. Yeah, AJ is always revising and doing schoolwork with his daughters.
Right.
In the evenings.
Nice.
So Romeo and Juliet and A Hoof Anatomy. My daughter wants to be a farrier. Oh, interesting. Back to TPS, a safe space after BST Flame Wars. Don't know what that is. Stupidly happy with my gear at the moment, so take one from the chat. All the best. Nice.
Lovely.
A farrier, I would imagine that's a good job, apart from the danger of getting kicked.
Is that a horse thing?
Yeah, shoe.
Oh,
feet,
okay.
Horse thing, for the most part. I don't. Farriers may do more than that, but they certainly change their shoes.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. David Tompkins says, have you contacted Eric Johnson ahead of his July UK tour yet? I've reached out and yet to hear back. So, it's July's quite a way away. We live in hope and wonderment. We'd absolutely love to have Eric on. He's playing just around the corner, so it'd be great. Really, really wonderful.
Yeah. Hopefully we know enough people that know him that could grease those wheels.
Yeah.
Chris Liddell. Hey, Chris.
Hey, mate.
Chris says, my favourite amp I've ever played was a Two Rock Studio Signature, but I can't justify the cost. Can you think of a budget-friendly option that would give me a flavour of that experience?
Oh, let me think about that.
Depends what budget... Depends what you mean by budget-friendly. I have to say that the Landau DeVille...
I was going to say that one.
Yeah.
That's a great shout.
I picked up a Michael Landau 212 DeVille, and in terms of the sort of headroom and the way it delivers, that's a really nice option. There's always Seriatone, which do the sort of Dumberly-derived things. I don't believe I've played a Studio Signature, but I think it's got a lot in common with, the Two Rock lineage.
Right.
And they do have a familial flavour for sure. So, yeah, I mean... And you know what? You can... Nobody get too angry here. You can get a long way there, actually, with a Hot Rod Deluxe and a really nice preamp from someone like Simon Jarrett.
Or a Hot Rod Deluxe and an EQ pedal.
Hot Rod Deluxe is just... Yeah, maybe. I think there's something about the...
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you had a good preamp into a Hot Rod Deluxe.
Yeah, if we lost all this tomorrow and we had to start from scratch and we were broke, or at least we didn't have loads of money, I would probably go for a Landau DeVille or a Hot Rod DeVille with a nice tube preamp.
Right.
That's what I would play if I had to start again. But here's a curveball for you. You can get pretty close with a 50-watt Marshall Plexi.
Yeah.
And just turning your guitar down a bit. It's really bonkers how beautiful they sound clean. But yeah, I would look at a Hot Rod Deluxe and a really nice tube preamp such as a Kingsley. I mean, it's still...
Look at that over there.
Still talking about relatively... Poor old Dan. He's really struggling. And there's quite a few amps in Fender's history, actually, that I think would fit the bill. But they're all, if you're looking at stuff like Pro Reverbs and things like that, they are starting to get a bit expensive.
I used to have a Pro Reverb that I paired with my AC30. Far out, man. It was before I got my Laser J. That was a cracking amplifier. Now, they had a chipboard panel, like, what do you call them, where the speakers are on?
Baffle.
The baffle, which wasn't awesome. But I had a couple of old Fanes in there.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it was a killer amp. It really sounded beautiful.
Yeah. A lot of good amps out there. A lot of great amps out there. A lot of people saying, can we please get Uncle Larry on when he's over? We can. He's going to Scotland and London, neither of which is anywhere near here. How are you, Rosie? You've been feeling a bit out of sorts, haven't you, baby dog? Not quite sure what's going on with you. A lot of disruption, isn't there? There's been a lot of disruption. Yeah. You okay? You probably don't want to jump up here, do you? Come on, then. Come on. I think you're just tired.
Yeah.
You want to come up here?
She's tired and excited.
No? Okay.
That sounds like me. Where I live. Tired / excited.
Hello. I know. You're not feeling the best, are you? Not quite sure. I think she's just knackered. Aren't you? Been a lot going on, Rosie Winkins.
Michael Krause says, new Pro Reverb or old one? The thing is, the Pro Reverbs, they were 40 watts, and you could get a silver panel Pro Reverb that you could, there's a really easy mod to do to the phase inverter.
Yeah.
And you can pick them up. Well, you used to be able to pick them up.
They're all that stuff's going up.
Is it?
Yeah. It is. It is going up. Anyway, there you go. What? Oh, I see. We need a wee. What I like about, just to finish that, what we like about the Hot Rod series is they do have this mid-range bump, which is the kind of 2-rock thing. If you're looking for that sort of sound, it's in a different place on a Hot Rod Deluxe.
Yeah.
But oh dear, are we scooting, Rosie? Okay. Daniel can hold the fort.
Yes, I'll hold the fort. Yeah. But, okay. So, David Picasso says, I had to tap to like 5 chokes last Monday and sounded like Dan. I know those chokes. Yeah, and Nicholas, this is interesting. So, Nicholas Acker says, Fender Super Reverb or Twin Reverb from the 70s. Yeah, the old Supers. It's whether you can do the 4x10 thing. I love Super Reverbs when they're cranked. Matt Schofield, when I first saw him play, was using a really old Super Reverb, and it was just the most incredible sound, but wow, it was loud. And to get that sound with the Super Reverb, it had to be loud. The old Twins, I think to get anything near that distortion, they've got to be cranked. If you go and listen to Yes songs, there's a live DVD and a live footage of Yes songs, and you see Steve Howe, and he's got an old Gibson Switchmaster plugged directly into 2 Twins, and the overdrive tone he's getting is outrageous, and those Twins are cranked from an old, like a hollow Gibson. Still astonishes me, that sound. But they can sound amazing, but man, they are ear-bleeding loud. But I personally would go with a Twin, because I find the Supers, the Twins, you can get a lovely big clean sound out of them. I find with the Supers, they've got to be really pushing. Maybe you could get a less efficient 10-inch speaker with the Super, and so the amp's still working. But I find a Twin much more flexible because you still get really beautiful clean tones at lower volumes. Yeah. Before our doses, what is the black guitar behind Dan? The Seafoam Green. What? Behind Dan, behind the Seafoam Green. I'm not sure I've seen that.
Oh, behind the Seafoam
behind the
Green
Seafoam Green
is the Gretsch Abbey Road.
Thank you. Is that completely hollow?
Yeah. It's basically the same as my 5422.
Yep.
How do I remember that?
Because you're amazing.
Oh, sorry, the tuning's all over the place. It's the same as my 5422, but it's got this really cool circuit in it to cut out a load of low, mid and bottom end frequencies.
Oh, okay. It's
makes
the same as that one.
Really great for recording.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and some other electronic changes, but it's the same shape and depth and everything.
Right. Oh, cool.
And it was a collaboration between Gretsch and Abbey Road, and we were supposed to have it on the show, and we've managed spectacularly to not do so. So it's probably...
Have we? I thought we've played it.
So we must play it more. And obviously, for those of you who love George Harrison, it's the right colour and things, you know. Hence the Abbey, well, partly hence the Abbey Road connection. But can't say Beatles, can't say Beatles. Lovely guitar, really beautiful. Great guitar. I keep saying I'll play mine more, but that's the trouble when you've got so many guitars.
Matt Cambridge says, I went to see Sumac last week. Aaron, the guitar player, had a VHD with two 4x12s, plus an orange dual dark with two 4x12 orange cabs.
What, one person?
Yep. This was probably not your thing, but gloriously loud and raucous. Gloriously loud and raucous is definitely our thing.
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
Man, that must be, to use a word I've used a lot today, arresting. Housekeeping. Housekeeping. Can I have some housekeeping music?
Yeah, I can give you housekeeping music.
Oh, nice. Thanks to everyone who entered the March giveaway. We've picked the winners, and 2 Fender pedals are going to new homes. Eric in California. Check your email, please, Eric. And Gavin in Dundee. Gavin! He says, thanks for your lovely message. Catherine says, thank you for your lovely message. And we're very glad to know that TPS played some small part in your recovery. Sounds like you've had a bit of a rough time of it, Gavin. So hopefully your new Fender pedal will cheer you up. 10 golden tokens for the next update. Last week after the Easter weekend, we picked number 6 of the golden token from all the previous week's owners. And it's on its way to someone in Oklahoma.
Rupert!
Today we picked another winner from all of last week's orders up until midnight last night. The random order number that came out today belongs to someone in Belfast, Northern Ireland. Golden token number 7 is on its way to you. So if you've put in an order from Belfast, as they say on the National Lotto, it could be you. Prizes. 5 prizes have been confirmed so far. Nick in the UK and Chris in the Netherlands have both won experience days. Pete in New Zealand couldn't make the journey for a half-day pedalboard session. What? So he's got 100 quid's worth of merch. Happy days.
Nice.
Golden tokens is still until the end of April, so... That concludes this week's housekeeping. Jean Miropica. Jean, how are you? Hi, fellow string benders. I have a Weaver FX Univibe clone with a 5-pin DIN input. Do you know anyone making Repro Univibe foot controllers? Enjoy spring and let your guitar see the sun. That would be a Google search for sure. Somebody will be.
Yeah. Because they originally had those old...
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Could you just plug a MIDI thing in and pretend?
Well, you could. There'll be an adapter that you'll be able to get that will work with the standard expression pedal. That'd be the way to do it.
Yeah, see if you can find a 5-pin DIN to TRS adapter, even if such a thing exists. That's a good place to start. But I would have thought Google is your friend in this, because there will be Univibe people out there who know this information up and down and back to front. Because presumably, you know, the foot controllers would have broken on a lot of old Univibes and or been lost.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, nice. Yep. Nice. Turd Ferguson says, what's the best way to overcome volume and gain differences between a Strat and an SG Live? I'm using a 5E3, which is a Fender Tweed Deluxe, Echoplex and a Mesa high wire and a wah-wah pedal, fuzz face, and a treble booster. Oh, mate, that sounds like a killer rig. And you're saying that your Strat and SG have too much of a volume and gain difference.
Yeah. There are a number of different ways to do it. It might be that your low output guitar just needs a boost pedal at the front that you kick on when you use that guitar. Depending where you have it as part of your gain structure, because you wouldn't want to have it in front of your fuzz. Or you just enjoy the differences between the guitars. I know exactly where you're coming from, and I used to struggle. And I ended up searching for guitars that worked well together. But if you've got guitars that you love the sound of and the volumes are wildly different, it might be that you need something that will either bring the output of the loudest guitar down or boost the output of the loudest guitar. And there's loads of stuff.
Dan makes two such devices. One is the 321 where you can plug in three things and you've got a separate preamp level for each one if you want it, or you can bypass it. He's also just released Guitar Tech, which you should check out if you're really serious about it. I'm going to guess that your SG is quite pokey. Maybe it's got ceramic pickups. Maybe it's really, really much more pokey than the Strat, because if they were like vintage style paths and the Strat wasn't super weak, I would do what Dan said and just use each guitar for what it's best at. But yeah, exactly what he said, if you want more parity between them, then...
And experiment with lowering the pickup heights of the SG as well.
Yeah.
That can really help.
Yeah.
Oh, what's over there?
Yeah. Yeah. Bless him. Good luck. Dennis Schmidtke, how are you? He says, hey guys, I have a 2021 Ultra Strat with noiseless pickups. What is the difference? It also has a push tone knob to pair pickups. Any thoughts on it? What do you mean, what is the difference? Do you mean, what is the difference between noiseless pickups and not noiseless pickups? Reminds me of an old thing our art editor, Sarah Clark, used to say to me. What's the difference between a duck? One of its legs is both the same.
Okay. I like that.
Nonsense. Just nonsense. So what's the difference between noiseless pickups and regular Strat single coils? Noiseless pickups tend to use some sort of stacked coil arrangement, which uses the other coil as
hum cancelling,
exactly the way it works in a humbucker, but not exactly the way it works in like a side-by-side humbucker where both the coils are in the game and make the pickup louder and all of that. As a interesting tangent, Thomas Blug, the spectacularly good guitar player and product designer from Germany, who used to work for Hughes & Kettner and now has Blue Guitar, he uses an actual dummy coil under the pickguard in his 61 Strat, which he uses for that very purpose.
Yeah. There's a few different devices like that. And on the back of a Strat where you've got the cover, someone makes a cover that has a dummy coil in it.
Sir used to do it.
Right.
And there was one called an Illich as well.
Scratch my Illich.
Yes. Yes. Strat, what do you say it was? Strat...
dummy coil?
No, Ultra Strat.
Ultra Strat.
Ultra Strat. It's so difficult with Strats because there was Strat Ultra and Ultra Strat. And it's like rally burners. How would you know the difference between like the super burner, the ultra burner, and the whatever the other one was? Probably didn't have rally burners in the States, did you?
The bike.
The BMX bike, yeah.
Yeah, I think
what was it called in the States?
It's called the Chazarama bike.
Yeah. The Blitzer. Yeah, so ultra noiseless vintage Strat pickups. Nice, okay. Some people love noiseless pickups because they get over that whole issue. Like if you're in any proximity to a computer monitor or some sort of lights or anything really that emits RF, you get massive hum from single coil pickups. And plenty of artists down the years have suffered greatly with it in the days of old lighting and new lighting, to be fair, but I think it was worse back then. So making the pickup hum cancelling in the same way that humbucker is noise cancelling, but retaining the single coil sound is the benefit. Does it sound exactly like traditional single coil? No, they don't. They always sound a bit different. But that's not to say better or worse, just a bit different. And
it's like the reversed wound centre coil in a centre pickup in a Strat.
yeah,
If you have non-reverse wound like the original old Strats had, and you A/B between one that's reverse wound and one that isn't, they're quite different.
very different. But when it is reverse wound, you get hum cancelling. So
Yeah.
it's silent in that position. So that's a really good benefit. As for your push switch, what it does is it adds the neck pickup to the positions you can't have the neck pickup in, I think. Let me see.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting.
Okay, so I think this is part way to the Gilmore mod, or it is the Gilmore mod. On a Strat, if you've got a 5-way pickup selector, you can have the neck pickup here and here. If you are here in the bridge pickup and you push that button down, it will add the neck pickup. So you can have
tele style.
you can have neck and bridge pickups, which is a completely different sound for a Strat, and it will also work in position 2.
Oh, so have all three on together.
Yeah, not clear if it works in position 3, so you can have... Oh, no, you wouldn't need it, because then you could just go there. So it gives you every pickup connection.
Yeah, nice. Such a great guitar. Lots of people saying that the old lace sensors are great. I had lace sensors, I thought they sounded amazing. I had an old Strat that had 3 gold lace sensors in it. Because I know you get different colours with different things. But the 3...
Red, blue, gold, silver,
Yeah.
taupe. Oh, man. I saw
Avocado.
something I have never seen before yesterday.
Right.
I was coming back from picking up gear. Not that kind of gear. Musical gear. We're not on a skag run. No.
I don't think anyone in our audience for a second thought you meant anything else. That's the beauty of TPS.
How do you think we afford all this? No, it's bad. I'm not joking about drug dealing. Don't do that, kids. I was coming back and the sun was setting in the west behind me, for I was driving to the east. And ahead of me was a huge storm cloud.
Hark.
And there were many, many rainbows. And it was the most beautiful, vivid rainbow, because in my sunglasses I've got blue lenses. So the violets and the blues were just beautiful. Anyway, there, in the field next to me, was the end of the rainbow. And the end of the rainbow was going along the field.
As you drove.
As I was driving. I've never seen that before.
Haven't you?
I've only ever seen like rainbows in the distance.
Right.
I've never seen it like right there.
Did you see the pot of gold?
It was a shitty field. So, not exactly. And I was quite taken by it. It's lucky I didn't have an accident, Daniel, because it was really spectacular. Someone who does physics will be able to explain why that is. I know it's prismatic and all that, but I've never seen it.
Amazing.
I was like, this is a sign.
Where was this?
On the A303 between Sparkford and Mere.
Lots of leprechauns there.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we are.
There's a little community.
Sorry, I just had to move it on from lace sensors. Enjoy it, Dennis, and just figure out all those different pickup combinations. It sounds like really good fun. And every time you play next to your computer monitor and there's no buzz, you can feel smug that you've got your noiseless pickups. Mellow Fellow 7 says, leg ends, it's a new guitar day for me. An 83 telly like Jeff Buckley's. The neck pickup is microphonic. Are you of the view that it always to change it out or to only use it for clean sounds?
Depends. Like, how heavy do you play? How much overdrive do you use? If that guitar isn't going to work for the heavier thing, and you want it to be your main guitar, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm red sits in a very special place for me because I don't play that heavy, and like if I get too heavy, it gets, it can squeal a little bit, but I never get heavy enough for it to do that. So
yeah, we had a bit of it today.
Yeah, when we went really mega
heavy,
distorted.
In some, like we did a 4-pedal show today, and your 60, that one does it much worse than red.
Yeah.
That's quite microphonic, isn't it? I had it on, what was it? It was the Pelham Blue SG that we borrowed.
Right.
And that was just too microphonic for me.
Oh,
I like
okay.
a bit of it.
Yeah,
like
sure.
345's got a little bit, but you can hammer that down with gain and it doesn't. So as Dan says, it's really about, do you want to play that pickup with more gain? And if you do, get it potted or change it. But if you can face it, just do check, because sometimes it can be the cover rattling.
Yeah.
More common in humbuckers than it is tally neck pickups, but just do check that might solve it for you. But as Dan said, if you don't go that heavy on the gain on that pickup, leave it, because it's a wonderful, open, lovely sound, I think.
So cool.
Yeah. This is making me laugh. Coheed3355 says, claims gear wasn't drugs, proceeds to talk about colourful rainbows and fields. It's a strong point. Oh, mate. Wonderful.
So beautiful.
Wonderful.
Michael Coney says, rainbows are actually circles. They're conical, with the tip being your own pupil, so the gold at the end of the rainbow was inside ourselves all along.
Oh. That's what I phoned Catherine. I said, I've got to share this with you, because it just feels like a bit of magic.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Vibhas Patil. Vibhas,
Hello,
how
mate.
are you? He says, hi, gents. I was wondering if you have treble bleeds in all of your guitars.
How about in none of them?
Yeah, I've got treble bleed in one of my guitars. This is the DGT, PRS DGT. If yes, have you experimented with values? Do you have different cap and resistor values depending on the type of pickups? We're not fans of them, Vibhas, because they monkey with fuzzes too much for me. However, our dear friend Andy Timmons loves it.
Oh, man.
And
Have you heard any of the footage of his recent tour?
No.
He's got these new, I think they're John Suhr amps.
Oh, really? Which ones?
I think they're custom ones for him. There must be,
Ooh.
dude, it's like two 4x12s.
Yeah.
He just sounds unbelievable.
I do like Suhr amps, I have to say.
Yeah, no, he's, man alive. He's just on fire at the moment. He's so good. He's so very, very good.
He is so very, very good. Yeah, I'm sorry we can't offer more insight on that, Vivas. We're not huge fans of them. What I do instead of having a treble bleed is I'll use a boost pedal. And so what happens, one of the reasons you put a treble bleed into a Stratocaster, for example, is when you turn it down, you're starting to encounter a whole bunch of capacitance if you're using quite long cable run and going through various pedals and stuff. So the guitar gets very dark quite quickly. And one thing you can do to that is just turn on a very light boost, and that will buffer everything all the way down through, and your brightness comes back. So I prefer to do that personally so that I can keep the guitar intact, because it just doesn't like fuzzes, the treble bleed. And I'm sure there are versions that do, and it's, you know, which particular method do you want to use to solve the problem that you have? And if the problem is the guitar gets dark when you turn it down, then that can be a great one. That problem largely goes away when you use certain overdrive pedals. And in Andy's case, He's using his Boss Blues driver on his neck pickup with the treble bleed, and it just sounds magic. So there's no right or wrong, but it's good fun to experiment with. Treble bleed's a super simple circuit that you can just put in there, and I'm sure there's lots of great information online about the pluses and minuses of different ways of doing it.
Yeah.
It's not always a cap and a resistor, is it?
I don't. Well, you can use an inductor. There are different. Generally, it's a cap and a resistor, but there are different ways to do it. You can have the cap and resistor in series or in parallel with each other. Yeah. Someone's saying the Kidman treble bleed is really good. Yeah, I just have never found the useful one.
Simon is in the chat. Simon Jarrett, how are you, Simon?
Hey, mate.
And he knows. He says, put your treble bleed on an on-off switch like a push-pull tone pot. Then you've got the best of both worlds.
He's so good. He has all the answers.
Wisdom,
Thank
Simon.
you, mate.
Wisdom.
Deep wisdom.
Yeah. Simon, I've put the original page boost on my pedalboard for my gig at the weekend, and I just loved it.
Unreal.
I loved it.
It's still the one. Still the one.
The one I love you. Good luck, Mateusz Jiminitsky. Yeah, good luck, Vibas. Mateusz Jiminitsky. I hope we said that right, Mateusz, who's in Poland. Says, Dan, after recent meetings with Rabia and Joey, do you plan to explore the digital world more? Saw some sparks of interest in you in those videos.
It confirms something for me. And they're great. They're really great and really fun. And if the way that Rabia uses it and the way that he records and with his band, where he sounds so mega, and so because he's a producer, and the sound that he's going for live, they want to be as consistent as possible, but he's still using the power amp returns so it's going out of the digital stuff into the power amp returns, and how to play, and it's really fun. But absolutely not. If anything, it's just made me go,
this is really not for me.
It's really not for me.
Yeah.
And funny enough, I was with a dear friend a few days ago, and he said I was really interesting hearing the two tremolos compared in the Joey episode. He's just like, wow. It was like, and with all that stuff. Oh, okay, there was a video. These two guys were rocking out, and the first guy is amazing. The second guy kicks in, and it just sounded unreal. And let me just Josh Meader, astonishing guitar player who's going to be coming on the show. But he's like, for the he does all the jazz stuff, he does all the shreddy stuff, but he's like properly harmonic amazing. And he was just guesting, and he gets up there, and I text him. I said, mate, what are you using? Because I just, hearing your sound on stage, it was just so good. He went, oh, just an old twin. They had it at the venue. They had an old twin at the venue.
Yeah.
And the dude.
Oh, well, yeah. That's going to work.
And it's like, because I heard it on YouTube, not YouTube, was on a video on Facebook. I heard it, I just went, what is that? And I thought, oh, someone's done it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, no, it's just an old twin. It was the venue's twin and that. And it was like...
Okay, because it's all about me, obviously. We made a show today using my rig that I used at Saturday's gig. And it's insane. It's so over the top, it's crazy. The next gig we've got, I can't use any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And what I didn't say in the show today, which I bloody well should have said is, I'm going to do the next one like that. I'm going to take an overdrive in the delay pedal and a simple amp,
Yep.
and report back
Yeah.
on that experience.
Okay.
Because anyway, sorry to hijack the chat, but back to the digital thing. I think Dan and I both are of the opinion that it's important to qualify, right? Because it's all contextual.
It is.
If you're playing in an orchestra pit or something that requires silence or whatever, it's the most sensible option, and you would maybe use the amp modelers and all that, and you would hand all responsibility to the front of house person because they can deal with it, and that makes perfect sense. In the environments that Dan and I play, which tend to be loud bar and small venue gigs, there is no way on earth we would ever use any kind of digital amp simulation. There just isn't. The way Joey was using Chord Cortex made a lot of sense to me. So he was using it for his digital, the effects that are already digital, like his delays and reverbs.
Yeah.
Great, go that. And then he was adding in some of his modulation as well. Dan and I, not massively impressed with the digital modulation sounds, and neither's Joey, to be fair. But the rest of it works great from a practicality point of view.
Yep.
And I don't know how many times we've got to go round it. From if your thing is practicality and your gigging environment requires it, then it just is a total no-brainer.
Yeah.
But for me and him, if you can take a real amp, if you can turn up, just still going to be that forever.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm going to put this out there. Lots of stuff has been said about Engine de Poitrine recently. And I think they're amazing. And I don't believe they could do that digitally. And he's using solid state amps. He's like a JC120 and,
Right.
you know. But it's so interesting because that, to me, what they do is it is the antithesis of AI and digital, and and of course he uses a digital looper and he's got that stuff, but it's not about production quality with those guys. It's about being in the moment and being real and just and it's like anyway.
Yeah.
And that is to say, I think it is amazing. Of course, we know everyone knows loads of players who use it because it works in contextually in that situation, and in actual fact, it may be responsible for opening up more gigs because now players can play at a more reasonable volume and people can, and anything that gets you out playing, fabulous.
Yeah.
Just not for me.
Oh, yeah, or me. Final caveat. If it enables music to evolve into something else, that's when I'm interested.
Yeah.
But if it's just trying to be a facsimile of something that already exists in a better format, then it's still not happening for me. But context is everything.
Yeah, there's everything.
Music, environment, practicality. That's what it's about, isn't it? Graham Stansfield. Hey Graham, he says, greetings D&M. A question: if you had too much gain, say high output from pedals. This is a great question, Graham. Thank you for asking it. Early in the signal chain, do you risk damaging pedals further down the line or in the preamp of the amp itself? Thank you for asking that question, Graham, because that's a question loads of people have, but a lot of people are a bit scared to ask because it sounds simplistic. And the answer is no.
Yeah. If you have, your pedal, the headroom of the pedal is basically dictated by a few things about the internal power supply. So you can have a 9-volt input and you can have plus minus 12 volts, giving you 23.9 dBu, I think, of headroom. And that is the amount of swing that you can have before it starts to clip. But that clipping, what happens when it clips, you'll get distortion. So it's why analog pedals that don't have very much headroom will distort when you put a line level signal into them. But it's distorting like it would distort with a fuzz or, we love it when we distort those circuits. It sounds amazing. Now, if you hit that pedal with a massive AC voltage, the other thing to remember is you've got capacitors generally at the input and output of these pedals, so it filters DC. But yeah, you're not, if you're just hitting it with a high input signal, it'll be fine. I'm just trying to think if there's, and maybe Gordon can jump on and say if there's
Simon
if there's if there's an exception to this rule. But yeah, I think once you're hitting the rails and you're limiting, it might sound crap, but I don't think you're going to hurt anything.
Wraith 1977 says, I think the biggest advantage as far as being in a bar band and using modelers is when you don't have a sound guy. I prefer tube amps and stage volume, but modelling is easier without a sound guy. Yeah, man, again, this is contextual because I completely disagree with that.
Yeah, me too.
Some of the I can't ever hear modelers when I'm in a. If I go to a situation where someone's playing a modeler, I can't hear it, and if I can hear it, I don't like it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
because whereas a little tube amp like a Pro Reverb or a Princeton or something, I can always hear that. Or I went and watched Ben Jones play the other night. Ben is just like a preposterous guitar player, like totally madly brilliant guitar player.
Right.
Ben's done loads of stuff. He's good friends with Scott McKee, and there's a little group of friends who sort of are around Froome a bit. And Ben is just. There was a time if you turned on TV and there was a guitar guy playing the guitar on a TV show, it was quite often Ben.
Right.
He used to wear a little beanie hat, and he is just a preposterous guitar player. And I went to see him play with some other friends, Jeremy Stacey on drums, Nick Peeney on bass, Dan Bingham on keys, Jazz Morley singing, trying not to leave anyone out. Scott got up and played as well, and it was just like monster gig Tuesday night in Froome. Ben's got a little PV, like PV solid state amp.
Awesome.
Sounds
amazing.
Unbe-frickin-leavable. But a modeler just wouldn't have cut it in that environment. It wouldn't have come across. Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't mean to disagree with you quite so openly, but maybe, Wraith, I haven't been in a situation where that kind of thing does work. And that's why I say it just always is context.
And some of my favourite gigs I've ever seen, the guitar has not been in the PA. It's spill off the stage. And I love that. Like when a band mixes themselves on stage and gets a really great sound coming off the stage before the sound guy even touches anything.
Well, we had an 8 to 10K rig, 2 bass bins per side, 2 tops.
Right.
Drums and bass going through that pretty loud. And we said, don't mic the guitars. We just play nice and loud on stage, and the spill
enough
down the vocal mics and down the drum mics will be enough. I did actually drape a mic over front of one of my cabs just in case, but it wasn't on. And everyone said it sounded good.
Yeah.
I don't know that it sounded great because
it sounded great. Come on,
I wasn't out the front, so I couldn't hear, and it was
amazing.
Hella loud, like crazy loud. And that in a smaller place, I just think that mix of reinforcement from front of house and stage volume, for me, for the music I like, that's all I want to hear. I never want to hear nothing coming off the stage and it just coming through front of house.
Yeah.
But again, I just say the caveat, it's all contextual and it's all genre and music dependent.
Yep.
Totally.
Yep,
Yeah,
agree.
yeah. So I don't mean to disagree completely. I'm saying in my experience, I haven't experienced that. So, and we live and learn, right? Don't we? We live and learn.
USA DNA says, Dan, how do you think the quad cortex felt when you were with Rabia? I'm sure it felt great.
Dan wasn't complimentary when he came back. Let's make a distinction. Rabia sounds unbelievable.
It's incredible.
He is an amazing guitar player.
Yeah.
You can't argue with how good he sounds. How did it feel is your question. And
and it was just
you weren't complimentary.
It was fun. It was really fun. It was so easy to play.
How was it compared to the sound we had
Oh
earlier
man,
today?
because I thought, oh god, I just sound like total arse today. Because those sounds that we have today, you gotta sing for your supper, right? They make you work for it.
As you'll hear in the playing, like I was kind of nowhere today.
You were great today, but I honestly believe those are the sorts of sounds that make you a better guitar player. And all of the guys that I know that can do the digital thing cut their teeth on valve amps, so they know what it should feel like and what it should sound like.
Well,
and we'll get, you know,
what the appropriate aesthetic is for that style of music. I think it's always important to reinforce the context.
Yeah.
Because we grew up on rock and roll and we're talking about rock and roll, that's where it works.
Yeah.
And
sure.
it could be that, you know, different styles of music, different genres, things that are emerging, don't rely on that aesthetic. But it ain't rock and roll without stage volume. It just isn't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry. I'm emphatically not sorry. I know.
Reeves, Marcus is on. G'day, mate. He said the idea of sound reinforcement has been forgotten. Yes, it's there to reinforce the sound. It's not there to create the sound. Yeah, so true.
David Pekarski, this says it all for me. David says, I played in a band where we were both guitars going through Line 6 Pod Pro and additional rack effects, bass amp through Sounds amp, and electric drum kit. We always got compliments that we sounded like a CD.
There you go.
You can take that however you want to take it.
That's
if
great.
sounding like a CD is what you're going for, then absolutely. And I think that really does nail it on.
Yeah.
The once you get to a point, it's the whole point of, I think, of digital guitar effects, especially when you're playing home through studio monitors, is to sound like a finished product. And that, I guess that's it. If that's what you want, then do that.
Yep. Perfect.
Yeah. Killer. Good. Okay. Sorry, we spent too long on that, as we always do. My dad and I are thinking of a road trip, says Ed Airfire. How are you, Ed? Good to hear from you. He says, my dad and I are thinking of a road trip across Canada with 2 SM57s, an acoustic, an audio interface, and a laptop. Nice. Are there any pitfalls to think about? Ideas, thoughts, and tangents are all appreciated. I would say bears is the main thing you want to think about in Canada. They're not cuddly, bears.
They're less cuddly than you would think.
Yeah. Just while they're ripping your face
they're
off.
They're a bit scrapey, eaty. Yeah. Oh, did you see? There's a guy that was filming a documentary about living alone with the bears, and they found the camera and the audio. Get back! Ah!
Don't mess with bears, kids.
No.
I would say, Ed, you could even simplify it from there. Instead of an audio interface and a laptop, unless you want to mix and process while you're doing the trip. If all you want to do is sound capture, I would totally recommend a single device.
Yes.
Like I tell you,
there was a device called Aspire, which I used. When Mick and I went to the... God, when was that, Mick? I think that was just before or just after COVID. We were at Toman, the Gear University. And we all got given these recording devices called Spire. And they have this amazing microphone and built-in software and stuff, and oh wow, it was a spectacular sounding thing. There you go. That's what you want.
My name is Wiki Zoom F6. So not necessarily this. They do an F4 as well, which is a bit less expensive, but that will record as well as any laptop and sensibly priced interface, and it's less hassle because it's all in one box. You can plug 6 things into it.
It's fabulous.
You can monitor while you're recording. You can actually mix with it as well. But
put little helicopter blades on it. And
turns into
pretend
it's a drone. Yeah. So I would totally recommend something like that, Ed, rather than having to traipse around with a laptop. That said, if you do want to do post production, then laptop maybe makes more sense. That does actually function as an audio interface as well, to be fair. So you can,
it's so cool. The Zoom stuff, man, is so good.
Yeah, really, really good. Really, really good. It's also got 32-bit float preamps, so you'll never clip it. So if you're recording ambient sounds, which is always lovely to do when you're on the road, stereo mic, car doors shutting and birds,
bears ripping people's faces off.
Bears, all that stuff. You don't have to worry about clipping and mic gain and all that, which you would have to do in an interface if it doesn't have 32-bit float. 32-bit, 32 point. Anyway, whatever. People explain it to me. I still don't get it, but I would do that, Ed. And then you can just, as long as you've got some SD cards with you, and probably you'd only need one big one, you can just capture so much stuff. As long as you log it as you go. That sounds really fantastic thing to do.
Yeah, that's lovely, mate.
Yeah. Really fantastic thing to do. Mick, because of course, if you've got a laptop, you're going to need to charge it up a bit as well. Mind you, you'd need batteries for that. Mick, does the V have a Laurel board? Danker says Johnny T. It does.
A what board?
Laurel.
What's Laurel?
Not rosewood.
Oh.
So
is it wood?
Yeah.
Or is it composite?
Laurel is a wood.
Okay.
Laurel Canyon, anyone?
Oh, okay. That's better. That's more my style.
That was my Holdsworth impression.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry, Alan. Sorry, it wasn't soaked in chorus.
I don't think he tapped.
No, I know. It was an attempt at legato. I love Alan Holdsworth, by the way. I wasn't being cruel. But all those chords, man.
Oh, just metal fatigue. The chords on that.
Alan Holdsworth never played those chords. Yes, it is a Laurel fingerboard. I believe it is.
Sharon's TV said 32-point floating trem. I like that.
Played this on Saturday night. Sounded great.
Such a cool thing.
Catherine said it was the loudest guitar. Get in. It does, Johnny, yes. Ian Jeffrey. Ian says, awesome gig on Saturday, Mick. The flying V cut through like James Earl Jones cast as the voice of God. Bless you, mate.
There you go.
He says, T-Bone Shuffle was the best I've ever heard by anyone. Many thanks. Take one from the chat if you have time.
I would just to say, I'm sorry I wasn't there, but with those sorts of things, you could be on stage with anyone, and absolutely, you do that stuff as good as anyone I've ever heard. It is amazing.
Very kind of you to say, and the fact that you mentioned T-Bone Shuffle was apocryphal, is coincidental, and is square in a circle because my friend Marco Rossi, who really lit the fire in me to play guitar when I was about 13, after watching him play at our local pub, the song that lit me up was him playing T-Bone Shuffle.
Oh, wow.
And obviously, if you've never heard, listen to T-Bone Walker's version of it, or one of T-Bone Walker's many versions of it, of course. But the version for me is off the Showdown record with Johnny Copeland, Albert Collins and Robert Cray, called Showdown, and it's just spectacular. Listen to the bass, man. Anyway, that's very kind of you to say, Ian, and thanks for coming to the gig, buddy. Fender Jeff says, I love you guys. I'm looking for a 112 Fender style combo, 35 to 50 watts. That's a step up from the Hot Rod Deluxe. Any recommendations? There's a lot of amps in there.
35 to 50 watts. 1x12 combo.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Sir Bella.
Oh. Is the Sir Bella 35 watts?
Between 35 and 50, isn't it? I don't know. 2 Rock is the obvious thing to say, but goodness me, they are somewhat costly.
Yeah.
Loads of people love the Sir Bella. But maybe it is a deluxe powered thing. I thought it was 50 watts, but there's a 44 watt version. No, it does the 22 or 44 watts.
Oh, okay, great.
Maybe. I know our good friend Jake Loosemore is a big fan of the Sir Bella, so I would totally have a listen to that.
Car Rambler.
Yeah, car amps. Ooh, mummy. Headstrong amps.
Supersonic.
The Supersonic is a great shout, actually. An actual Fender amp, just with a bit more balonies in there.
Thank you, Simon VRDJ. Scott Carey says Dr. Z Z40 or Z28.
Yeah.
I said Z and Z in the same breath.
That's language evolving, Daniel.
It is.
Yeah. So, first thing that comes to mind for me is a Sir Bella. I presume they have reverb, but I don't know.
Mr. Fillmore 50, says
Yep.
Josh Schwartz.
That was just on my mind. Mesa Fillmore 50, really, really good shout. And there's quite a lot of Mesa amps a little bit older. Like the Express series were fantastic. Yeah.
Sharon's TV said Pro Reverb. I thought the Pro Reverb was a 2x12.
It is normally. Hello, Rosie. Hey, feeling a bit better? Oh dear, go and see Dan.
Cuddle?
Go and see Dan. You're not going to go and see Dan? You're going to go and see me? We're not going outside.
Yeah,
Hello,
good
my
girl.
little love.
Good
I'm
girl.
not quite sure why, but Rosie's been feeling a little bit out of sorts, haven't you? You've not quite been yourself for a few days. Nothing to worry about, but you have been a bit forlorn. Yeah. Yeah, good girl. Okay. That's right, you sit there then. Yeah, I that's what I would say. Hopefully there's plenty of suggestions coming through in the chat.
Lots of suggestions. Yeah.
Roger Wilco.
7 Princetons is what you want.
Fantastic song by Sean Colvin called Roger Wilco. Hi guys, I recently scored a 76 Kramer 450G aluminium neck guitar at a yard sale for 80 quid. That just kept getting better and better and better and better.
Have you ever had anything at a yard sale or a flea market or anything like that?
Ooh.
I've never seen anything any good in my whole life.
That's like... That just kept getting better, Roger, and congratulations. What a cool thing.
Boy.
Just wanted to share the joy, he says. Fantastic. And with similar intention, Dan Mincher, how are you, Daniel? Good to hear from you, buddy. He says, afternoon leggings, take one from the chat. So we will. Rosie's now going to...
Now she's going to make some...
This is normal. These noises are normal Rosie noises, where she's just scratching her ear.
DMK75 has a question. It says, hi Dan, congrats on your new products. Question, can I use the wet dry machine channels pre-effects so that I can have different pedals going to different amps? Yeah, so can I use the wet dry machine channels pre-effects, different effects and different amps? So the way you would do it,
wouldn't you use the guitar tech for that?
Yeah, so the way that you would do it is you've got to build, there's 2 effects loops, 2 inputs, 2 effects loops in parallel that you can assign to any of the 4 outputs. So you put your effects in the effects loops and then your inputs, and then say whether you want the effects on or off and which effects loop you want activated.
Sorry, I'm laughing because Scott Gaylor has referred to bears as murdered teddies. Thanks, Scott. Sorry.
Yeah. So that's the way it works. There's quite detailed descriptions in the manual, but if you want, if you've got a specific setup in mind, just email us and then we'll get back to you and show you how to do it. But I've no doubt it's pretty flexible. No doubt that we can do that. Sheridan's TV says thoughts on overdriving the front end of a single-ended Fender with a level boost versus turning the amp up to get power amp distortion. The difference really is that the overdriving the front end, if you're doing that with an amplifier that has clean headroom, then you're going to get a really loud distortion sound, and the clean sound will be quiet because you're using volume from a boost to slam into the front of the amplifier. However, if your amplifier is single-ended, lots of those amplifiers don't have huge amounts of headroom. Anyway, they're quite colourful and they'll limit in a really nice way. Both those things will work perfectly. You know, crank the amplifier, use the volume on your guitar to clean it up. It's not going to be a bad sound there.
Nice. Nice. Inspired by last week with a tube preamp, says Carson Green. Hello, Carson. Inspired by last week with a tube preamp, how much does the power amp matter? I use a juggler into the return of my DeVille. Will upgrading the amp or using a dedicated power amp make a difference?
The power amp is hugely important.
But what's nice about the DeVille is that it's loud and open and sounds great.
Yeah, completely.
And you'd have to, I've always said this about Hot Rod Deluxes and DeVilles, you've got to go a long way to really improve on that.
I agree completely.
I would say what you've got there, juggler returning to a DeVille. Now, one significant improvement, or sorry, not improvement necessarily, one significant change you could make is checking out some different speakers, because that really has a fundamental difference on the sound of the whole rig. Not least in that, as much as the tonal difference is really significant, also the sensitivity, the efficiency difference is huge. So it could be like if it's a bit too spiky and you're finding it a bit kind of whoa, then you could use a lower sensitivity speaker, and that will enable you to drive the amp a bit harder and not be so loud. The converse is true. If you want it to be a bit more, you know, puffing its chest out and smacking you in the face, have a look at some higher efficiency speakers with a bigger upper mid-range kick, something like Celestion Vintage 30s. So I would think you've got to go a long way to do much better than that DeVille power section.
Yep. Andreas Johansson says Celestians do epic things to a DeVille.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
There you go. So
is the master volume still activated with a DeVille? If you go to the power amp, it's completely open.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's a it's a really good way to do it. Won't be long, Rose. Well, it will be long. It'll be 25 minutes. Not that that means anything in dog language, does it?
Yeah, it means 255 minutes.
No barking at me, please. Raf Freitas. Hey, Raf. Raf says, I missed you. Have you tried the Poly Canzo? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's the new pedal with Josh Smith.
Oh, that's that. Yeah.
It looks fabulous. He's so cool.
Yes, we really, really want to try that. Oh, that's going to be a bit loud down the old microphones, Rosie. Do you need to go out again? Dan can deal with Paul Matulovich's question.
Okay.
No. With... In fact, there's only 3 more to go, Dan, so you can maybe take one from the chat. I will just check that I've got them all. But Rosie, we're going to go outside.
Okay.
And you're going to do a wee-wee, and then you're going to come back in and be compliant. Aren't you? Look at you. Bloody dog.
Let's see. Andy Guitar Live says, a fuzz newbie question. I got me a full tone ultimate octave and was wondering why the manual recommends to put it after the wah pedal. Doesn't a fuzz usually want to see the guitar signal first? Yeah. I think there's a sound with a wah pedal and that octave fuzz engaged, which is a classic Hendrix thing. And it's very, very cool. And you don't get that sound if you have the octave in front of the wah. You want the wah going into that. And if the wah's true, or like a really good true bypass, it'll be fine. I don't know. I mean, surely if it's the full tone one you said, I think. And I don't know what transistors or the design of it, but it might be that it's okay after a buffer. I'm not sure. All I would say is try it, and if it sounds great, you're golden. If you kick on, if you put the wah in front of it, and if it's not true bypass, if it's buffered, and then you turn the octave on and it sounds horrific and bright and harsh, then you might want to change the position of it, or you might want to look at getting a true bypass wah. But yeah, that comes down to the bypass state of the wah, so I'm sure that will be absolutely fine. Alex241 says, is that the new Keeley Barkstormer pedal? Yes, there's the new delay coming out, the Funkin Siren, which is amazing. Proper 12-bit delay. It really does sound magic. Yeah. So this is interesting, right? DMK75 says, a little different on scale, but Edge is now using UAFX rubies instead of real amps. Sound is pretty good, but most of the audience wouldn't have known that. So, yeah, I have been in conversation with the Edge about that, and he really likes them. I think it's interesting, isn't it? With that level of production, where everyone is on ears and things are timed to within a millisecond of each other, and yeah, I think in those situations that it can make complete sense, where things need to be, I think more of what it is consistency. Those shows are the same night after night, and they need to be absolutely consistent. Don't forget, the Edge is an amazing guitar player. He could plug into a broom cupboard and still sound amazing. So, they're great. If the Edge was in a little club playing, would he choose that, or would he choose something a bit more visceral? And because don't forget, his amps aren't on stage with him; they're under the stage. He can't hear his amplifiers. All he hears is what's in his in-ears. So yeah, I think in those situations, it can be great. And the UA Ruby is fabulous. Yeah, it's very different. As Mick was saying before, context is everything. Everything. That's a situation where they want to sound like the record. Great. Really good. Yes, they're coming back. I think they're all good. She okay?
She's fine. She's just in her own world. Just wanted to go for a sniff about, didn't you? Lie down then. Won't be long. Hi guys. Hope you're well. Says Hello Sailor Effects Official.
Oh, g'day mate.
How are you? He says, the Victory Power Valve 200 video was a proper one. I haven't been tempted by gear in a while, but that's got me thinking. Very tempting.
Yeah, very cool. Lots of uses for that stuff. And what I like about it is this realization that, the idea that all this stuff is good, but we want to have some sound on stage. Can we just plug in something and and a speaker just to give us something on stage to react to interact with, with the guitar? I think that's important. The idea behind it is really important.
Yeah. I think as I said, I don't know if I did say in the video, but that sphere of products is getting interesting.
Yeah.
Because we talked analog and digital a bit earlier, and it's not, it's no longer a straight yes or no. There's some middle ground. How do we incorporate? How do we do things like Hageman's doing that lovely little tiny, essentially a phase inverter power stage?
Yeah. That is cool.
To put some tubes after it, and the way Joey was putting his LAA custom boosts after it to kind of just give it a bit.
There's
of
transformers just to
feel.
warm things up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. All of that. Obviously, it's logged me up.
We've got one of those boosts as well.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We do. Okay, just a few more super chats. Just make sure we got them all there. Will be from Paul Matulovic. Hey, Paul.
Hey,
how are
buddy.
you? He says, Leg Ends, have you seen the latest Walrus Audio volume pedal? Besides Dan's handy solution, it seems cool how many tapers it has.
Yeah, it's great. Really, really clever.
They've been doing some groovy stuff, Walrus, haven't they?
They have. And I like that they're doing some more utilitarian stuff.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. Is it in the Canvas series? Is that what they're...
Is it a... Yeah, I think so. Canvas volume pedal. Yeah, quite cool.
Yeah. Shock horror. I'm using MIDI on my board. Talking about tapers and all that business. All will be revealed on Friday. Plexico. Duncan says funds for great YouTube content. Bless you. Thank you, Duncan.
Thank
for
you,
your
buddy.
continued generosity, buddy. And Giorgio is in. How are you, Giorgio? Giorgio came to an experience day here, as did Paul Matulovic, as did Joe from Hello Sailor, as did Dan Mincher.
Wow.
I believe.
Getting the game back together.
Did you? I think you did. Yes, you did. Hi, Mick. How was the gig on Saturday? I wanted to come over, but unfortunately I didn't manage in the end. I wish you, Dan, Catherine and Rosie a great rest of your day. Thank you, Giorgio.
Thank you,
What a lovely
buddy.
thing to say. It was good. Thank you. We had a lovely time. And, we said at the top of the show, aside from the music, which was all good fun and everything, just the humanity of it and seeing people, great friends, and being among that and sharing the love for a few hours was epic. Epically good.
Yeah.
There was a lot of love.
Yeah, man.
And a bit of nostalgia, which is okay from time to time. There we are then. So let's see what we're saying in the chat. Who's...
There's something, the DOD and Morley WTF. Peak My Chew says, it has me intrigued. I think Guitar Center is in charge of promoting it, so it hasn't got no hype. So DOD and Morley collab. Interesting. Let's have a look.
Simon V says, Mick using MIDI, hell has frozen over. Well, while Dan's looking for that, the short story is, I just wanted my delay to do a couple of things that I just couldn't make it do. So I thought, hang on a minute, it's got MIDI, G3's got MIDI, how hard can it be? And it turned out to be not very difficult at all. The hardest part was getting the switch to do what I wanted it to do, which I had to text Dan about. But the MIDI part was like, I watched a video and I got 2 minutes into the video and stopped. And then I went into the MIDI menu on G3 and in about 10 minutes, I worked it out. It's quite intuitive.
Yeah. Yeah.
The annoying thing is that MIDI message 0
Yeah, it depends on... yeah, I know. That's
is
so annoying.
preset 1, but, you know, that's because there's not a preset 0, but that happens in a lot of things. But I figured that out. Anyway, blah, blah, blah.
So I've looked up DOD Morley WTF. There is no information. DOD Morley collab. Let's have a look.
Scott Curry says, Mick, the video title says March the 13th, not April the 13th. March 13th was my birthday. I'll let you into a secret. I am hanging. I am exhausted after the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And just everything that happened last week, and there was a load of other stuff, and I am knackered, so that's probably part of it. Yeah.
I can find no information on that pedal.
Interesting. Oh, Simon. Apparently, Simon V is telling us that Lyndon Laney has died.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Condolences to the Laney family, and also my friend Simon Fraser Clark, who's worked for Laney forever. Yeah. Thank you, Lyndon Laney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Did some amazing stuff.
Yep. Yup. Okay. Jeremiah McCann. I think we'll leave it here for today. Jeremiah McCann. Nice to hear from you, mate. He says, if you had to dress up to replicate a guitar hardshell case, what would it be? Fender, tweed jacket, all red undershirt and brown accessories. That is killer. I know exactly what I would do. I'd be as Selma Crocskin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's lovely.
The Selma, like, grey Crocskin. And I want to say they had red, fluffy interior. Like Murph and the Magic Tones. Don't go changing.
That's really good.
I'm sincerely hoping it wasn't real Crocskin. I can imagine it won't be.
Just the tweed. So, the tweed case, but with the pink fluffy inner layer thing. What do you call it? What inside of a jacket? Like you get tweed jacket.
Lining.
And you've got the lining. So you know those ridiculously fluorescent pink fluffy things inside the Fender case or the tweed case.
The Gibson ones. Yeah, that would look nice too.
That'll work.
Yeah. There we are. They were black inside, apparently, the Selma cases. So all the ones I'm seeing here are. Nice. Excellent. Okay. Well, apparently, people are saying it's crocodile skin. Please tell me it's not. If it is crocodile skin, then I'm definitely not wearing it.
Gator skin.
Yeah. Although, I don't know. We wear leather, don't we? We wear leather. That's a difficult question. All right. Johnny T. Here we are. Jonathan Doolin says, did you get a V? I did. You know that. There was a rumour that I'd got a V. Johnny T says, okay, what's your favourite scene in the Blues Brothers? I mean, that's tough, isn't it? That's like saying,
it's really hard.
What's your favourite child? I'm just going to pick a scene.
Oh, Ray Charles for me. Ray Charles.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with the action of this piano. Do. Boo! We played that on Saturday night.
You did?
Yeah. But play the keyboard intro on guitar. And slightly annoyingly, we do it in C, not D, to make it a bit easier for the singer. Sorry. Mine, I think all the scenes with Carrie Fisher are spectacular. But probably as the car chase kicks off and they're going round the mall.
And they're pointing stuff out.
Pier 1 Imports. The new Oldsmobile's in early.
Yeah.
And he says something like, "You got me into the shopping mall. Now you get us out." We played that as well. Such a great bass line, that.
That was Duck. What's his name?
Donald Duck Dunn.
Donald Duck Dunn.
She caught the Katie.
Now play Tower of Power.
Yeah.
Come on then. Do I get a cuddle?
Right. Thanks for being with us, everyone.
Yes.
Friday will be all about me. Be my rig rundown show. I did get Dan to play quite a lot as well, just so to take the sting out of it a bit. But it's an interesting discussion, and it's a craziness.
Oh. Oh. Hey, come here. Come on up.
You got my cheese whiz, boy, says Landenberg. Oh, so good. And Aretha Franklin.
Man. She's still the best. Just
chills every time I hear her. Yeah. Okay, Rosie's saying it's time to go home. Play us out, Daniel, please. Oh, left-handed shaking. This is tough.